just to discuss with our viewers around the COVID-19 app that the government has released. I, for one, have not downloaded the app. If I felt that the risk of infection and spread was at a much higher rate, then potentially I would, but with the implications around privacy, I have not. Do you want to give us your thoughts on that, Sven?
Yeah, again, one of those very divisive things which basically splits, doing the right thing, the greater good, doing the community thing, taking one for the team, as it were, versus another aspect of your privacy that you're not necessarily going to be able to control, right? And that's why it's very divisive. And you can see that there's a big push, everyone do the right thing because this is going to help us. When these things happen, you just got to go and peel back the layers and get back to the facts again, right? And this is particular to Australia, insofar as we are well and truly in control of our curve. Our statistics are looking good. I think our government and our citizens have done a magnificent job of curtailing the COVID-19 threat. Then, at the same time, suddenly they're coming out with the Tracer app, the Australian version of that, and it's rushed. It's rushed because they were trying as quickly as possible to get it out and get people to download it. But when you're in the IT industry, when you're in the technology, security and privacy side of the industry, those are alarm bells for the very reasons we've just talked about in terms of why privacy matters. So this comes down to, does the benefit outweigh the risk? And like you, I haven't downloaded the app yet because in my personal circumstances, the benefit doesn't outweigh the risk. Keep in mind that this particular app only does anything when you've been within 5 meters of somebody for more than 15 minutes, right? Now, unless you're having your hair cut or you're in a doctor's waiting room or something like that, that's a unlikely scenario in our lockdowns. But what you wouldn't want is for people to get that false sense of security that no matter where you go, if you jog past or walk past someone with COVID-19, you will be notified. That's not the case, and that's very misleading if you think that is the case. The other side of the thing is as well, when you peel back the layers, is technology is still technology, and behind the app there are servers, and behind the servers there's a cloud, and the cloud is a corporation. And in this particular case, that corporation is an American-owned cloud provider. Now, if you know anything about that, it means that American-owned cloud providers have their own rule sets that are governed by the United States and override our sovereignty over here in many, many cases. So it's not all as rock solid as it needs to be. But I hear you say, or as my uncle who is 65 said to me, it's just my name and phone number. It's in the phone book. Who cares? You've got to take into account, again, between risk versus reward. Having just another piece of your identity and the location of your identity and the person that you were with being compromised. This is not by the government. Let's assume we all trust the government and the cloud provider. If that information does get out, it's just another piece of a very sophisticated puzzle that identity theft people would put together. Am I saying get off Google, get off Facebook, get off LinkedIn, get off all? No, do what you always do because you already know the risks of all those things. What I'm trying to say is this is just another piece. And for some, it might be the crucial piece. So, does the benefit outweigh the risk? Now, I did download it for my mother because she is in the high risk category. For her, absolutely the benefit outweighs the risk. She goes to shopping centers all the time. I can't tie this woman down and she's in the high risk category. I would prefer that the government has a way to notify her as quickly as possible if she's been near someone that's infected.
I think those are all really good points, and it's, we're not advising anybody what to do and what not to do. We're just letting them know what we have chosen with all of the facts in front of us. But again, you have to our audience members, you need to take into account all the facts, do your own research and make the decision for yourself.
Yeah, and Beck, I've read too many history books to fall for things that are loosely patriotic or the greater good. That's fine, and that absolutely develops a fervor and a will to act and all those sort of things. But that shouldn't stop you from thinking, and it shouldn't stop you from making an informed decision. Once you're informed, make your decision.